Hello, my name is Kara Jackson. I'm a master's student of public health at the University of Georgia. My presentation is called Don't Forget, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to tell if your forgetfulness is normal or something more serious.
As early as the third decade of a person's life, their core cognitive abilities, including processing speed, reasoning, episodic memory, and spatial visualization, begins to decline. This means that you can experience weakening of the mind as early as age 30. The two types of memory loss we're going to be talking about are normal cognitive decline and pathological cognitive decline. Normal cognitive decline is something you may also hear professionals like your doctor call subjective cognitive decline. These names can be a bit of a mouthful, so we're going to break the name apart into smaller chunks, and then this can give us a pretty good idea of what it means. Subjective is how you feel about your mental state. Cognitive just means your brain function. And decline means struggling to work. And you're not alone if you feel like you're experiencing this. As of 2021, according to the CDC, 1 out of 9 people in the state of Georgia are experiencing normal cognitive decline. Normal cognitive decline, as hinted at by the broken apart definitions we just went over, is when your memory and your thinking ability are getting weak naturally because you're getting older. It's completely normal and everyone goes through it, so there's no reason to be afraid if you're experiencing normal cognitive decline. Alright, so what does normal cognitive decline look like? With normal cognitive decline, we see forgetting words or conversations you've had from time to time, losing things, occasional bad judgment, struggling to learn new things, and forgetting things like the day, the date, the month, the year, where you set something down, a medication dose, an appointment, and then often remembering these things later. Like, oh yeah, I forgot. Alright, before we proceed to pathological cognitive decline, we're going to take a second to talk about the step in between the one we just talked about, normal cognitive decline, and the next one, pathological cognitive decline. This middle step is called mild cognitive impairment. Impairment meaning weakened. With mild cognitive impairment, you would have the same signs as normal cognitive impairment. Having mild cognitive impairment could be an early sign of Alzheimer's or dementia. But not all people with mild cognitive impairment will get Alzheimer's or dementia. And mild cognitive impairment can actually go away with time and lifestyle changes. So if you're experiencing mild cognitive impairment, you should visit your doctor every 12 months to track your symptoms. Your doctor can help you come up with lifestyle changes to maintain your cognitive ability and keep you healthy. Now that we've talked about that middle step, we can move on to pathological cognitive decline. Pathological means that it's caused by a disease. So pathological cognitive decline is when a medical condition or a medication is causing your memory and your thinking ability to weaken. With pathological cognitive decline, some things we see are having trouble following directions, confusion about people, time, or places, forgetfulness frequently, such as forgetting to eat, medication completely, the date or year on a regular basis, bathing, self-care, etc. Frequent bad judgment, losing things often and not finding them, getting lost in familiar environments, such as your own home, struggling to have a normal, patterned conversation, or asking repetitive questions. The important things to know with pathological cognitive aging are that it's not a normal part of aging. The changes are caused by age-related disease. The most well-known pathological cause of neurodegeneration, which means the weakening of the mind, is Alzheimer's disease and related dementias. Stroke can be a cause. Parkinson's can affect your cognitive ability negatively. Medications like chemotherapy and pre-existing disabilities can also contribute to mental decline. It often has no cure, but clinical trials testing possible therapeutic drugs may be joined in an attempt to slow or reduce your symptoms. And the key difference between normal and pathological aging is that pathological cognitive aging interferes significantly with your daily life to the point where your quality of life is negatively affected. I understand that these diagnoses can be frightening, so it's important to know when you should go see a doctor about your cognitive state. You should seek help from a doctor if you, a family member, or a friend has problems remembering recent conversations or events, processing information, or thinking clearly. If you seek help at your doctor's visit, they might perform a thorough exam, run some tests, or do a brain scan to find out what might be the problem. Your doctor might also suggest that you go see a specialist called a neurologist who would be able to help you more with maintaining or improving the health of your brain. Next, we're going to talk about some things that can negatively impact your cognitive health. Things you should avoid include smoking, vaping, drugs, and drinking. These can all negatively affect how your brain is working. There are also factors you may have less control over that affect your cognitive ability, such as hypertension, which is high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes. However, your mental state can also decline due to factors that most people might not consider as being harmful, such as a lack of sleep, being antisocial, and physical inactivity. Things we can do to prevent cognitive decline, according to the National Institutes of Health, include following a daily routine, eating balanced and nutritious meals, getting plenty of sleep, generally 7 to 8 hours each night. They recommend putting your wallet, keys, phone, purse, glasses in the same place every day. They suggest that you could volunteer in your community at a school or at a place of worship to prevent yourself from falling into antisocial tendencies. Another thing they suggest to keep your mind healthy is exercise. And I don't want you to think of the traditional working out in the gym or on a treadmill sort of exercise, because exercise can look different for everyone based on what you enjoy doing. A few examples I have pictured here include gentle yoga, playing with your grandkids or going for a walk. Swimming is a fantastic exercise and great for people who have issues with joints because it takes the weight off of them and it makes it easier for you to exercise. And dancing. Learning a new skill and doing activities that can help both the mind and the body are a great way to keep your mind healthy. You can play board or card games with your friends or family. You could paint. You can do arts and crafts. You can take a class like learning to do pottery, or try something like knitting. All of these are a great way to keep your movement in your hands and your mind sharp. And the final way the NIH recommends combating cognitive decline is by using memory tools such as calendars, sticky notes, to-do lists or notepads, and even your phone's calendar. While all of the things I discussed can improve your mental and emotional state, if you feel depressed for multiple weeks, you should seek help from a counselor, psychologist, or a doctor. Alright, so now we're going to talk about where to turn if you do need help. I've listed off a few well-known resources on the next couple of slides, and for each type, I've included a picture of the web page from one source per list. Some national resources that you might want to check out the online websites for include SAMHSA's National Coalition on Mental Health and Aging Resources for Older Adults, and the picture you're seeing is from that webpage. The NIH's National Institute of Mental Health, and the National Council on Aging website. For the state of Georgia, our biggest resource is at the State of Georgia's website. The page is called the Department of Human Services, Division of Aging Services. And the picture you're seeing is that webpage. And then I've included some financial resources as well. I'm sure we're all aware of Medicare and Medicaid. The Georgia Medicare page is what's pictured. But some extra resources include the NIH's National Institute of Mental Health Grants and Funding List and SAMHSA's Mental Health Grants. If you can't afford care, these are places you can go to help get financial assistance.
That's the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to find out where I got my information from, I'll put the references up after this. Thank you for watching.